No, I didn't move. I'm currently on vacation, or at least I should be. But Barcelona's 3-2 comeback win against Elche, well, I guess it's kind of a comeback. It was 2-2 at one point. But that comeback win was enough for me to make this match review. So let's not waste much time. Again, I got to get back to this vacation. So let's go over the 5 headlines for Barca's 3-2 victory over Elche. One is Grande Gavi. He may be small in stature, but he was the big man at the Camp Nou today. The man of the match, clearly. Playing as a false 9, playing as the interior, a number 10 in front of De Jong or Busquets. Wherever Gavi needed to be on the field, he was. Absolutely everywhere, and much more than just a man-of-the-match performance, actually like he had against Osasuna, even though Abde got the award that day. I think Gavi had an argument for the man of the match prior to the goal and after the goal, but the goal itself really gets that award for him. Let's talk about the first half. With the one goal, 100% pass completion, 45 touches, and 6.7 kilometers ran, most of any player in that first half. And talking about that goal, the turn against Mascarell, leaving the center backs for dead and finishing for his first professional goal. He only made 3 appearances for Barca B, scoring in double digits at the Juvenil A level. So a big goal like this, and an impressive goal as well, is huge for the young man's career. But as far as what Gavi could give throughout that 90 minutes, what Frenkie de Jong and Busquets were doing in behind, just defending and allowing Gavi to be the youthful 17-year-old that we know he is. It gave a balance to that midfield that we didn't see against Osasuna, and we actually haven't seen much this season. Gavi just being able to focus on that and not having to put out fires defensively for those other 2 midfielders. That positioning of de Jong is key to getting the best out of Gavi today. But more importantly, to helping Gavi get the best out of himself today was those runs of Jutlga. The runs of Jutlga and his mobility along that front line freed up space that Gavi, again, did not have to press to, but was able to come into and use his superior technical skill on the ball for that one-touch passing. Those things all work in tandem. The runs in behind from Jutlga, the passing, the one-touch passing of Gavi, the positioning of Frenkie de Jong, opening up that Elche side. And Gavi was at the center of all of it. And the last point, even though Nico has been Barca's best presser since Xavi took over, this I think was the most comprehensive, at least again in the first half. I can't say it's for the second half, but in the first half, this was the most comprehensive 45 minutes and organized press that we've seen from FC Barcelona against an Elche side that you don't have too much confidence in being able to play the ball out of their own back line. And so Barcelona were able to capitalize on that today. 2 is Jutlga's debut. I had said I didn't want to read too much into the Saudi Arabia friendly, but Jutlga, who started on the right in that match and moved over to the middle and got a goal, I guess I should have read a lot into that match because he stepped right into the starting lineup against Elche. And prior to that goal against Boca Juniors, he had 4 goals and 4 assists in 15 matches for Barca B. And it was never double figures at any other point in his youth career with Espanyol B or going back to the smaller sides in Catalonia. He does turn 23 in February, so I don't know how high his ceiling is. But for this match and this match alone, when Xavi was looking at his bench and saying, oh, I have Luuk de Jong, I have Ferran Jutlga, who just scored against Boca Juniors, it became a profile against personnel. And that's actually what I take most from Jutlga's start. It's very similar to Riqui Puig in the second half, who came on instead of Coutinho. That game was better suited and needed Puig's profile, and he was a net positive. For Jutlga, getting him in behind and stretching that Elche backline was absolutely necessary. And just having those runs opened so much up. And if he can score goals like that and be clinical and have the right mentality to put the ball in the back of the net, that's going to get 3 points for Barcelona in this instance. And if he's unafraid to get his debut in a way that Luuk de Jong just seems afraid to put the ball in the back of the net, stripped of his confidence, a young player like him who never really got a shot at Espanyol was indeed the perfect player for that moment today. As I keep saying and reiterating, Abde, I think, has a little more potential, even more so than Jutlga. And Abde, 2 weeks ago, we didn't know what we were going to get from him. But in the case of Jutlga, because he's an older player, if you will, for being a young first player just into the first team, 2 goals in 2 games, 1 official at least, that's as much as you could ask for from the player. 3, bounce back Dembele. You got the sense all game long that there was a Dembele moment happening. And we did have to wait for that 3rd goal for it to happen, but still, his stats and the difference between what we saw against Osasuna and what he was against Elche was night and day. And today was the kind of match that Dembele could be the difference maker. The Kool-Aids know he can be. Mojica is a bit of a winger himself. He's a wingback at best and not a fullback. And Dembele went after him again and again and again, as he should have. And unlike Osasuna, Elche weren't able to force Dembele to make difficult decisions. He got where he wanted to on the field. And even though that final ball wasn't coming off, the 3 key passes and the 2 of 3 successful dribbles today, leading to that pre-assist on the 3rd goal, were all numbers that confirmed the eye test. That Dembele not only wanted to be an impactful player in that match, but to be a key figure for Barcelona today. And he did just that. Against Sevilla, will we get Osasuna Dembele or will we get Elche Dembele? Either way, Xavi is going to have to do his best whether this renewal is signed or not, to get the best out of his number 11, who, while may not be goal scoring as much as he should be, is going to be able to always have that speed. And if he can make the right decisions, he'll be the player we know he can be. 4, here's the one bad one, exploited by Elche. Rocco, if he wasn't a center back, could have had a brace in that first half. And I think Barcelona were a bit lucky not to have conceded by halftime, but they did deserve a 2-0 after the first 45 minutes. But it's been the case so often this year, whether it's with mentality when the first goal goes in, or whether it's just being not very good at the back, Barcelona were always playing with fire in this matchup. A better side would have exploited their positioning on the counter. Lenglet was caught forward a few times, and Araujo was split between two players a number of times as a last defender. And that continues to be the one negative from this match, is that defending. In the first half, you got the sense that something was going to go wrong, and it did. Second half comes along. The first goal, Lenglet could have done a lot better on that first goal. Questions again being asked of Ter Stegen. And Araujo misplays a pass worse than he should have, and that leads to the second Elche goal. And after the Araujo mistake, Eric Garcia puts up a hand for the ball going out of play, but it doesn't. He doesn't have the physical tools to not play through the whistle. So it wasn't just one defender. It wasn't like we can pin all of this on Ter Stegen or Eric Garcia or Araujo or Lenglet. This was everybody, and Alba's positioning included defensively. Busquets at times defensively. While he did have 12 ball recoveries, and Busquets is probably not as much of the problem as that back line was today, it continues to be a problem. And when that first goal goes in, I think I'm more worried not even about how the first one went in, but the fact that the second one happens within moments. Within moments, whether it's mentality or whether it's physically, this team just wilted along that back line, and that just can't happen against better opponents. 5 is that 3 points is 3 points. I don't care how it happened. I know everyone was sad because it was 2-2 against just little old Elche, but 3 points is 3 points. I don't care how it happened. They were looking at Sevilla on Tuesday, so 3 points aren't guaranteed. And starting the match 6 points off of Rayo in fourth, every point matters as much as we keep saying it is. And the silver lining to the fact that Barca lost that lead and then won is that this is a first-time experience for so many of those young players. They're young and they don't know what it's like to go down and to come back. Because so far this year, if it's Gavi or Nico, when Barca have gone down or conceded that lead, every time it has ended in a draw or a loss. So to get a victory with such young players, and even Balde, putting him on the 89th minute and saying, hey, we need to get this result. We have to keep this 1-goal lead, is a show of confidence for the young player that hopefully he can build on. And I think Nico's substitution kind of sums it all up. 2 weeks ago, we went from asking him to be better offensively and then him getting injured to scoring 2 goals in 2 La Liga matches. And while that may be unsustainable, at least this year, Coolies need to hang their hat on every positive. I've said it before, goals this year is a numbers game. Get 5 from Nico, 3 from Gavi, 10 from Ansu, 18 from Memphis, etc., and pray you don't concede too many, and the results will follow. So 3 points, 7th in the table right now with the second half of the season upcoming. You just got to go from 7th to 4th and take points off those in the table above you. So since I'll be away still for a few more days, no other podcast early next week. The next time I'll see you is for the Sevilla match review. And until then, I hope you're well, and Forza Barca.